Long ago, somewhere on the magical planet in the realm of cats, there lived a mother named Scrumpy. She had 4 kittens who are 3 weeks old. She named the 2 ginger ones Ollie and Luther, a tabby one Dory, and a cream-coloured cat Moe. She lived with her husband King Toaden on their homeworld called Alvadar. The cat family were in the garden of their castle. My little babies, Scrumpy said. Luther, Dory, Moe, and wait, where's Ollie? Ollie popped up, hiding from behind a bush to surprise his parents. Oh, there you are, my little Ollie, Toaden said. Would you look at this? Our 4 kittens all play nicely together. Scrumpy laughed happily. She and Toaden were so proud of them. Toaden and Scrumpy knew that the kittens would rule Alvadar one day when they grow up. Later that day, an evil cat named Slicker, the Dark Lord, came to make mischief in Alvadar. He and Toaden met and had an argument. Scrumpy, get the kittens away from the Dark Lord. Okay, I will. Scrumpy went to hide the children while Toaden said to Slicker, Slicker, how dare you return to Alvadar? But wait. Slicker laughed and gave an evil chuckle. I thought I was your advisor, wasn't I? My advisor? You're nothing but an arrogant traitor! I would rather you did not call me that, and this is your last chance. Let me take over your throne, or I will curse everyone and all of Alvadar. Toaden, what is he talking about? Toaden didn't believe that Slicker had such power, which made Slicker very angry. In his rage, he thought to curse every cat into frozen jade crystals by using his powerful dark magic. With the help of his 2 griffin henchmen, Bert and JJ, who were in their laser ship hovering above Alvadar, he commanded Bert and JJ to laser beam the entire island realm, transforming all the inhabitants into frozen crystals. Alvadar was in trouble. Scrumpy thought she should send the children away to a different realm to keep them safe from the Dark Lord Slicker. Scrumpy went down to a river with the kittens. She would put them in a basket and send them downstream to escape Alvadar and to find safety in another realm. Scrumpy, what are you doing? We cannot let our children die. They need to live, only in a different place. They'll be safe there. Toaden agreed, and Scrumpy put the 4 kittens in the basket with name badges so that they wouldn't forget their names. She pushed the basket into a river and the current swept them away to a safer realm. The kittens looked worried. Please be safe, Scrumpy said sadly, and then was instantly turned into a crystal by the monstrous Slicker, along with everybody else on Alvadar. The realm was lost. The kittens were safely swept away into the night. Sometime later, the basket arrived at a new realm of cats called Morstan. The basket was washed ashore on the beach, where the kittens met the 4 fairies named Livia, Natasha, Lilu, and Amanda. Lilu saw the basket and told her sisters. The fairies followed her to ashore, only to see the basket full of kittens. Lilu, Natasha said, what's inside the basket? Natasha and Lilu opened the basket's lid, and they saw the 4 siblings from Alvadar. Amanda and Livia looked at them along with the other 2 fairies. Oh my gosh, Amanda said. Are these kittens? Then Livia said, how many are they? Then Amanda said, looks like there's 4 of them. The kittens looked at them sadly. They were very unhappy and tearful because they were missing their mum. Lilu took pity on them and said, oh, have you lost your mama? Is that why you're sad? Natasha says, wait a minute. You said that they lost their mum. We should take a basket to show our king and queen, Nosbor and Clubsha. Lilu thought that was a good idea, so the fairies carried the basket up and onto the grass, safely away from the water's edge. Then Natasha flew up to tell Nosbor. Nosbor, the king of Morstan, and the cats at his castle were having a party. Then Natasha arrived. Nosbor, Clubsha, I found something in a basket that was washed ashore in our land. There are 4 kittens that are abandoned. I need to show you where they are. For abandoned kittens? Nosbor asked. How come? They've lost their mum. They mentioned something about the Dark Lord in their realm. Maybe their mum has been captured. Queen Klupsha says, Oh my goodness! I think we must try to help these kittens. Nosbor and Klupsha followed Natasha outside and went to a basket on the shore. The other fairies were looking after a basket when they arrived. Nosbor and Klupsha opened the lid and saw Ollie, Luther, Dory and Moe inside. Oh, are you all right, children? They seem to have badges with their names on. My king, do you think you should foster them? Well, perhaps we should for now, at least. Nosbor told the kittens that they would be living in Morriston until their parents could be found. The fairies were relieved that the kittens were safe and had a new home. Nosbor and Klupsha showed the other cats at the palace their adopted kittens. Now the kittens were no longer orphans. The cats of Morriston were very happy to see them. The king and queen found a comfortable bed for the kittens, who quickly fell asleep after their long ordeal in the basket. Amanda explained to the other fairies that the kittens had now been adopted and so should be safe from this Dark Lord. After 3 years living in the realm of Morriston, the kittens had become fully grown cats. One day, Ollie, Luther, Dory and Moe were playing on the grasslands. Moe was chasing a frog, laughing happily. Come here, frog, I'm only playing. Moe, why don't you leave that poor frog be? Oh, Dory, it's fine. I'm not going to hurt it. Yeah, I know. She looked at Ollie and Luther, who were now chasing frogs as well. Oh, great, Dory sighed. Boys will be boys. The cats chased the frog into a pond, where they swam away. Dory was relieved, as she thought two frogs were scared of the cats. As the cats were playing, the fairies were sitting in a tree on top of a branch. Livia said, They've grown up so fast. Lilu said, I know, they are so super cute, I could just give them a big hug. Amanda says, They are not kittens anymore. That may not be keen on you hugging them. Oh no, Lilu said, cats always enjoy cuddles. Lilu flew over to where the cats were playing. Luther saw Lilu coming up to him, and she said in a cheerful, playful voice, Hey little fellow, he's a cute boy. Luther says, Yes, that's me. Luther lay down on the ground and Lilu tickled his tummy. Then she said, How about a kiss for that nice tummy tickle I have just given you? Luther gave Lilu a little kiss on the cheek. Lilu says, Oh, that's nice. She gave Luther a kiss back, then flew back to her sisters in the tree. Later that day, a beautiful brown female cat named Shadow met the siblings for the first time. She said, Hi guys, I'm Shadow, and this is my brother Bomber. What you doing? Ollie smiled at her and went over to talk to her. Oh hi, I was having fun with my siblings chasing frogs. Shadow says, Right, okay. And who are your siblings? I have 2 brothers named Luther and Moe, and my sister is called Dory. Bomber says, Wow, it's great to see you. You too, says Ollie. Then Ollie told her about what happened 3 years ago in Alvadar. He explained how the Dark Lord laser beamed the realm, destroying everything there. He told of how his mother placed him with his siblings in a basket and sent them down the river to escape. That was the last they saw their mother and father. Oh, that's horrible. I'm very sorry to hear this, Shadow says. The Dark Lord must be really evil. Then Dory explained, The Dark Lord's name is Slikkar. He's said to be monstrous, but hey, although we miss our parents, it's good that we are safe here. Oh yeah, says Ollie. I really miss my mum and dad. Maybe it's time to go and look for them. Maybe I'll ask Nosbor about this. At the same time, Nosbor, Klupsha, Shadow and Bomber's mother Tanisha were in the castle. They were watching the cats outside the window. Tanisha says, Shadow likes to spend time with her new friends. Klupsha says, I know, just like us. Suddenly, none other than Slicker entered the room and says, Well, what's up, Nosbor? Nosbor says, Hey, Slicker, how's it going? It's been such a long time, my friend. Yes, it's been just over 3 years. Slicker looked outside to see the 4 cats from Alvidar and Shadow. He says, just look at them all play. Klupsha says, Yes, you know they are having fun, aren't they? Nosbor says, So, Slicker, what have you been up to recently? Slicker says, Well, a bit of this and a bit of that. Nothing important, really. I heard an interesting thing, though. Apparently you adopted some little kittens to keep them safe. That was very good of you. Oh, yes. They were found on the riverbank in the basket. Well, Nosbor, it's been nice seeing you again. It's time I returned home. I don't feel so well. I think I have a hairball I need to cough up air. Well, you take care, Slicker. Yes, good luck with the adopted cats. I'll see you later. Slicker walked off and went straight to a gateway to his lair. In the lair was Bert, a green-feathered griffin, and JJ, a purple-feathered griffin. Slicker! My man, Slicker! It's you! Have you been up to no good, like us? Well, not yet. However, I found out that fool Nosbor has the 4 little brats that escaped from Alvidar. JJ and Bert tried to cheer up Slicker and replied, Oh, don't worry about that. It will turn out fine. What? Did you forget that I cursed the realm? And for the curse to be complete, those 4 brats must die. Jeez, sir, we were just trying to cheer you up. Yeah, it was only a goof. Very well. Now then, I was about to say, if they come searching and they find this lair, we'll destroy them, and then I will be victorious, as the curse will then be complete. Yes, I will eliminate Alvidar's long-lost little mongrels. I will be victorious. Oh, I get it. Me too. This is going to be good. Meanwhile, back in Morriston, Ollie, Luther, Dory and Moe went to chat to Nosbor to ask him how to get back to Alvidar to restore the realm and find their real parents. Hello, children, Nosbor said. What would you like to talk about? Ollie says, Okay, we were just wondering, how can we restore Alvidar back to the way it was? Well, you will have to build a magical portal to restore Alvidar. You will need 4 orbs to build it. You will need to go on a search to find the orbs. Then they could be used to unlock the gateway to restore Alvidar and save its people. Wow, Moe says. This is going to be an adventure. Oh my gosh, Dory says. Where do we even begin to find the orbs? Luther says, Nosbor, can you tell us where to find these orbs? Nosbor says, There are 4 places you must search in 4 different realms. Idle City, Tiger Shores, the Golden Forest, and Flake Falls. You can get to these places using the Morrison magic portal located in the city. Ollie says, Don't worry, Nosbor, we'll make you proud, and our parents will be proud of us too when we rescue them. So the children followed Nosbor to town and all the way to the magical portal station. The fairies came along with them too. When they arrived at the station, they met a professor who works there. Hey, Nosbor, the professor says. What can I help you with? Well, Nosbor says, I was talking to my children about travelling to 4 realms to find orbs to create a new portal to restore Alvidar back to the way it was. Do you think that your children can accomplish this task? Yes, I am sure they can do it. Oh, okay, if you say so, but they look a little young to me. How old are they, by the way? 3 years old. Okay, now then, let's get started. The professor and the cats approached the portal while the professor made preparations to have them sent to Idle City. The four fairies wished the cats good luck. Lilu gave Luther a hug and said, "Take care of yourself and your siblings, my lovely fellow." She kissed him on the cheek. "You too," said Luther. Livia says, "As soon as you have the orb from Idle City, we will bring you home." Dory says, "Thought Moe looked worried and so promised to protect her if there was trouble." Moe says, "Okay, Dory, I'll be brave like you." Ollie says, "Yeah, we are a team. Let's go." So Ollie, Luther, Dory and Moe went through the portal and instantly arrived at Idle City in the realm of spring. From a distance, Bert and JJ were watching and saw that Nossport sent the four children to go to Idle City. "So, Bert says, they are going on holiday on their own, huh?" JJ says, "I guess they go to a different realm. We should let Slicker know that." "Oh man, Slicker's gonna kill us if we lose them." "Don't worry," Bert says. "He can find them with his crystal ball." "Oh yeah, that's a good point, Bert." The two griffins flew to Alea to tell Slicker about what they saw. JJ says, "Hey, Slicker, don't be mad when I say this. Nossport has sent the four little cats to another realm." "Nossport sent them to another realm?" Slicker says. I wonder what that old fool is up to." Bert says, "Why don't you use your crystal ball to find out which realm they have gone to? What do you think?" Yes. Let's see what those brats are up to. I can't have them ruining my plan. Once we know where they are, we can destroy them." The four cats instantly arrived at Idle City. Ollie took a good look around and said, "Well, guys, we're here. Our first stop." "Wow," said Dory. "So this is Idle City. It's magnificent." Luther looked at a welcome sign next to a portal. It reads, "Welcome, adventurers, to Idle City. To secure the orb of this realm, you must complete 3 quests." Just then, a creature called a Tapmere appeared. A Tapmere is like a cross between a meerkat and a normal cat. This Tapmere introduced himself. "Hello, strangers. My name is Nate. I am here to welcome you to Idle City. What can I help you with?" Ollie says, Yeah, we have come to complete a task to get a realm orb." Nate listened to Ollie and suggests they start by looking around for clues. First, the cats found an idol on a small island a short distance away, which had green eyes that looked a little like watermelons. Ollie says, "There's an idol over there. Do you think that's a clue for the orb?" Dory says, "Its mouth is wide open. Maybe we need to put something in it. What should we do?" Moe spotted some fruit lying on the ground and said, "I got it! I think the idol would like some watermelon." "Oh yeah," said Ollie. "I'm sure he would like some. We need a catapult to shoot the watermelon into its mouth." Ollie asked a passing Tapmere if he knew where they could get a catapult. The Tapmere was able to help that they used the catapult to throw the watermelons into the idol's open mouth. It ate 5 of them, and then its eyes turned purple. Nate the Tapmere said, "Hey, way to go! That idol looks like it's had enough to eat." Moe says, "Do we get the orb now?" Ollie says, "Not yet. There are some more things to do before we get the orb." "Okay then," Moe says. The cats then went to a market square where they saw a Tapmere standing at a block puzzle. The puzzle Tapmere says, "Hey guys, I'm having some trouble unlocking something with this puzzle. Would you be able to help me, please?" Ollie says, "Sure, I guess. Luther, what do you think?" Luther says, block puzzles can be extremely hard." Dory says, "I don't really like puzzles like these, but I can try if it will help us get the orb." Luther says, "Well, sometimes you just have to do things that you don't like doing. That's just the way it is." Dory says, "Thanks, Luther. I'll give it my best shot." So they stepped on all the blocks and pushed them around until the puzzle was solved. Once solved, a secret box opened up with a key in it. The puzzle Tapmere laughed happily. "Way to go, guys! You did it! And my job here is done." You're welcome, Ollie says. Come on then, guys, let's carry on. All the while, Slicker was watching the cats through his crystal ball, using dark magic he thought to set a trap for them. With the first 2 quests complete, footprints magically appeared on the ground. Ollie, Luther, Dory and Moe followed them. The footprints lead them to a cave. They stopped at the entrance to a giant cave. Dory says, this is kinda creepy. Moe says, this gives me the goosebumps. The cats had fallen into Slicker's trap. A very hungry plant-like monster called the Vampire came out of the cave and saw them. A smile appeared on Slicker's face, who was still watching events. His trap had worked. My precious plant, Slicker said. Let your feast begin! The 4 cats had no choice. They had to battle the Vampire. Ollie pulled its tail and hit the Vampire on its head with the tip of its own tail. The Vampire gave a very loud scream and the cats had to cover their ears. Well done, Ollie, Dory says. Good job. Ollie says, guys, we can defeat this big weed. Luther, those rocks above the Vampire's lair. See if you can push them onto its head. Yes, Luther says. I can do that. All the nearby Tapmirs rushed to see the cats fighting with the plant. Demon flower! Ah! The Tapmirs were hoping that the 4 cats would defeat the Vampire. Finally, Luther pushed all the rocks and shouted, Ollie, Moe, Dory, you need to run! The cats jumped out of the way quickly. The rocks fell and crushed the Vampire. They returned to Idle City and the Tapmirs cheered and celebrated them. Ollie, Luther, Dory and Moe became 4 heroes. We did it, Moe says. Ollie says, I know, we are amazing. Dory says, thank goodness for that. And Luther says, the Tapmirs were happy that we rid them of that monster. Slicker was very angry. He shouted in a fit of rage. Bert says, whoa there, Slicker, are you okay? JJ says, yeah, like, what's the problem, man? Slicker says, how can they survive my demon plant? JJ says, I am sorry, boss. We will find another way to get them. Back to the 4 heroes, Nate gave them the first orb and said, congratulations, here's your reward, and thank you for defeating the demon flower. We will count that as your 3rd quest. Ollie says, you're welcome, and thanks for the orb. Ollie and his siblings put the orb inside their bag and left Idle City, and went back to the portal station. They arrived back in Morriston and showed Nosbor and Clubshaw the purple orb. Ollie says, hey Nosbor, we're back, and we've got our first orb. Oh, well done, children, Nosbor says. It's getting late. You might want to try for the next orb tomorrow. Ollie says, good idea, because I need to rest after our battle. So the cats, joined by the fairies, went back into a castle, taking the orb with them. Ollie and his siblings kept the orb safe in their room. Ollie looked at it and smiled. The next day, they went back to a portal station to begin the quest for a second orb. Ollie says, hey Professor, we're going to a summer realm today. What's it called again? Oh yes, the Professor said. The summer one is called Tiger Shores. The portal was turned on, and Ollie and his 3 siblings went through and travelled all the way to Tiger Shores. Well, it's nice and sunny here, Ollie says, and it looks like a fun place. I wonder what do we have to do first to find an orb. Once we have all the orbs, maybe we could come back there one day just for a holiday. Oh yeah, says Dory. I would like that. So they went to find the challenges to win an orb. Tiger Shores was full of games and rides. To get the orb from this realm, they would have to win some of the games and go on some of the rides. Moe says, guys, I found the mission on the roller coaster and we have to pop balloons as we ride. Let's all get on board and have a go. Oh yeah, says Ollie. Well spotted, Moe. The tiger operating a roller coaster said, "Hey little fellas, you want to ride on the roller coaster?" Moe says, yeah, we're on a quest to find orbs, so if we pop balloons while we are riding, will that help us get an orb? The roller coaster tiger says, "Oh yeah, pop as many balloons as you can. Hop in and have a go." Ollie says, "Oh, that's great, thanks a lot." Ollie, Luther, Dory and Moe went on the roller coaster with a balloon popper to shoot at the balloons. Ollie shot 5 balloons, Luther shot 4, Dory shot only 3, and luckily, Moe shot 10. "Wow," Ollie says. "Moe, you are so good at it." "Thanks, bro," Moe says. "I'm so lucky. Woohoo!" Next, they went on another game which was in the fun house filled with hanging balls of string. Luther said, "Oh, would you look at that? A fun house with string balls. Do you think winning this game will help us get the orb?" Ollie says, "Well, I think so." The tiger in charge of the fun house said, "Hey fellas, would you like to try this out? You have to run through the house and avoid being hit by the swinging balls of string." Yeah, Ollie says. "We'll try it out, thank you." So they went running through the house, dodging the string balls as they went. Suddenly, Moe got his claws stuck in some loose string on the floor and said, "Ollie, I need your help, please. I am stuck." Dory says, "Seriously? We need to free him quick. We have to keep moving or we may fail this test." Ollie says, "Dory, Luther, you keep running while I help Moe out." Dory and Luther turned and ran on through the house dodging the balls. Ollie used his claws to free Moe from the string. "Thank you," Moe says. "Thank you for helping me out, Ollie. Let's catch up with Dory and Luther." Ollie says, "Yes, let's go. Keep dodging and don't get stuck again." Moe says, "Okay." Finally, they all escaped from the funhouse without being hit by the swinging string balls. Dory says, "Ollie, Moe, you made it out. Well done." The funhouse tiger says, "Wow, you 4 made it. Well done dodging those string balls." Ollie says, "Thanks. Moe got his claw stuck in some string and I freed him." The funhouse tiger says, "Oh wow, that was a close call then." Moe says, yes, I feel bad I nearly caused us to fail." Funhouse tiger says, "Don't worry about it. You all made it into the end." The next challenge appeared in the milkshake factory. The factory had broken down and the cats were challenged with fixing it. The tiger, who was the milkshake factory keeper, said, "Oh my goodness, are you here to help us with the machine? This whole thing is blocked with too much flavoring. There is vanilla chocolate and tea drops of milk causing the blockage. Seriously, I don't even like vanilla and chocolate flavoring mixed up in the milkshake." Luther says, "Well, do you like strawberry milkshakes then? Do they come from pink cows? I'm only joking, but we could help you with the problem." Factory keeper says, "Oh, thank you so much. All you need to do is to turn off the machine, then you clear the blockage and separate the flavors and put them in the right jars." So the cats went to work separating the flavors. There was chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, and blackcurrant. It took some time to fix the machine, but they managed in the end. The factory keeper was delighted when the machine was fixed. "Oh, thank goodness! Thank you so much for fixing that blockage." Ollie says, "You're welcome." Factory keeper says, "Would you like a free milkshake?" Ollie says, yeah, sure. I'll have vanilla, please. What flavor would you like, guys?" Luther says, "I'll have vanilla too." Dory says, "I like strawberry." Moe says, "Oh, can I try the blackcurrant flavor, please?" The factory keeper gave them 4 bottles of free milkshake. When they got ready to go back home, the theme park keeper gave them a green orb as a reward. Then they got back into a portal and go home. When the cats returned to Morrison, they went to see Nosball to show him the second orb. Luther says, "Hello, Nosball. We have another orb." Nosball says, "Oh, well done." As he saw the orb, he also noticed their milkshakes and said, "Say, what have you got with you?" Dory says, "They are our milkshakes. The factory keeper gave them to us because we fixed the factory's machine." Nosball says, "Oh, right. That was very nice of him. Dory says, yeah, he was very happy that we helped him. So the cats went back to the castle where they met the fairies. Lulu said, oh, look, you brought milkshakes from the summer realm. Well, I think normal milk is better for you. But hey, enjoy them, you have earned it. Olivia says, yes, it's okay to have the occasional treat now and again. The next day, the gang went back into the portal station. Their destination was an autumn realm called the Golden Forest. They went there to find the third orb. Luther says, well, looks like we're in the Golden Forest. That's the name of a place, because it looks like autumn with orange and golden leaves. Ollie says, yeah, it's because it's an autumn realm. Just then, a beautiful fawn princess named Darla came and spoke to them. Oh, hello there. Welcome to the Golden Forest, the domain of the fawn. My name is Darla. Moe says, oh, hi. I'm Moe. We're here to find challenges to get another orb. I was wondering if my siblings and I could take a look around. Darla says, of course. Follow me. Dory says, I didn't know there are fawns in this realm. Well, now this can also be the fawn realm, don't you think? Ollie says, well, yeah, I guess. So they met all the fawns, including Darla's parents, who were the king and queen of this realm. The first challenge was cat archery. The 4 cats pulled on their bowstrings to release arrows into 4 targets. Moe hits the outside ring. Luther hits the second ring. Ollie aimed and hit the inner ring. And luckily, Dory hits the bullseye. She laughed happily. Haha, this is amazing! I seem to be quite good at this. Don't worry, my brothers. Better luck next time. Ollie says, I got so close. He sighed. Well done, Dory. Your bullseye made sure we passed this challenge. Dory says, thanks, guys. Maybe I just got lucky. Just then, Shadow and Bomber, the cat's 2 friends from Morriston, arrived. Shadow says, hey, guys. Hello, Ollie Bear. Ollie says, hey, Shadow. We're in the middle of questing for a third orb. Shadow says, yeah, we know. Me and Bomber just came by to say hello and see how you were doing. Ollie says, we're good, thanks. We just passed the archery test. Luther says, so, Bomber, how did you get here? Bomber says, same way you did. We went to a portal station. Nosball and the fairies said we should come here to cheer you on. Shadow and Ollie went to hang out together while the other cats and Bomber got on with the next. Shadow and Ollie played in the orange leaves. Ollie says, it's a beautiful place, isn't it? Shadow says, yeah, so shouldn't you be helping the other find the next orb? Ollie says, well, yeah, I'm sure that guys can manage without me just once. That way I thought we could spend some time together. Shadow says, yes, that's nice, and Bomber gets to spend some time with your siblings. I just want you all to be safe from Slickar's curse. Ollie says, we will beat him, don't worry. Can we sit down for a while? Shadow says, of course. They sat down on the ground close to each other. Shadow says, what would you like to talk about? Ollie says, I was going to tell you that I really enjoy being with you. You're a very sweet girl, and I think you are more than just a friend. Shadow says, oh, Ollie, that is very sweet, thank you. And I think I'm quite fond of you too. Ollie says, I think I am falling in love. Then he kissed Shadow on the cheek. Shadow blushed and kissed him back. All the while, Bert and JJ, the 2 griffins, were watching them through the crystal ball, and JJ says, oh, would you look at that? That's so sweet. And it's so sick too. Bert says, oh, here comes Slicker. Hey, Slicker, look, it seems love is in the air in the autumn realm. Slicker looked at the crystal ball and said, is that right? Let's see what I can do about that. I have a little surprise for them. A surprise that they won't survive. Back in the Golden Forest, Ollie and Shadow were enjoying each other's company when suddenly they heard a deafening roar. Shadow gasped. "What is that sound?" Ollie says, "Oh my gosh! Look, it's a giant saber-toothed bear! We must run and warn everyone! Come on!" Ollie and Shadow ran back to Luther, Bomber, Dory, and Moe. Ollie gave a warning. "Guys, we saw a giant saber-toothed bear. I think it wants to eat us all. We have to help the Fawns defeat it. If we help save a realm, I am sure they will give us the orb." "I think Slicker is behind this. Bomber, keep Shadow safe while we help the Fawns fight the bear." Bomber says, "Okay, but be careful, guys. Shadow, come with me." The Fawns were using their bows to shoot arrows at the saber-toothed bear, but the bear was too powerful. The arrows were not hurting it. Darla says, "Hey cats, the Fawns can't defeat the bear alone. We need your help. Please, for the sake of our realm," she nervously begged. Moe says, "Of course we will help you. We will do all we can." The cats ran to a bear, shouting loudly to distract it away from the Fawns. The saber-toothed bear saw the cats and took chase. It would destroy the cats for Slicker. With the bear giving chase, Dory and her 3 brothers ran to the top of a hill and to the edge of a cliff. Dory noticed that part of the cliff edge was crumbling away. The small cats could probably run along that edge, and if the big bear followed, the cliff could collapse under its weight. "Hey guys, we are going to run very close to the edge. Follow me. If my plan works, that bear will go swimming." Ollie was very nervous, but bravely ran along the edge with Luther and Moe, with Dory at the rear. The bear was getting very close to Dory. His mouth opened wide to bite her just as the cliff collapsed. Dory jumped free of the falling rocks to safety just in time. The saber-tooth fell off the cliff and splashed into the water below. The cats watched the bear as it swam away from the Golden Forest. Slicker's bear had been defeated. With the bear gone, the cats returned to the Fawns with news of their victory. Shadow came to hug Ollie, crying tears of joy. She said, "Oh, Ollie, you did it! I can't believe it! You're a real hero now!" After that, Darla's parents came to the cats. The Fawn King says, "Well done, cats. You've defeated the bear." Fawn Queen says, "And you saved all of us." Fawn King says, "Here is a reward." The reward was the red orb. Then Darla gave all the cats a kiss on the cheek. Moe says, "Oh, thank you. That's so nice." Darla says, "You're welcome, my heroes." So Ollie, the siblings, Shadow and Bomber head back to Morriston with a red orb. When Slicker saw this through his crystal ball, he got so mad and shouted, "No! They survived again!" But then he had an idea. His new plan was to find a way to resurrect the Jade Titan to terrorize Morriston. He would make Nosball pay for looking after the 4 cats. Slicker says, "But, JJ, I need to find out how to free the Jade Titan." "But how?" "They would have to journey to where the Titan was imprisoned." The next day, Shadow and Bomber joined our heroes again. They all went back to a portal station, and then transported to the winter realm called Flake Falls. Ollie says, "Well guys, this will be our last adventure to restore our home realm of Alvdar. I'm sure we will teach Slicker a lesson, don't you think?" Dory says, "Of course! I can't wait to turn those crystal statues back into citizens of Alvdar, especially our mother and father." Moe says, "Okay, let's look at what we have to do here." They met the Snow Leopard and asked her about the tasks they would need to complete to gain the Winter Orb. The Snow Leopard says, "Hello there. Welcome to Flake Falls. What can I do for you?" Moe says, "We came to win the Winter Orb. What do we have to do to get it?" The Snow Leopard says, "Oh, right. Well, there are 3 things to do. The Penguin Hotkey is first. When you are finished with that, meet me at the rock at the top of the island. Good luck." So the first challenge was about penguin hockey. Experienced Penguin says, "Hello, Cat. Welcome to Penguin Hockey. What can I do for you?" Ollie says, "Well, we were hoping to play a game of hockey. Do you need any help?" The experienced Penguin says, "That's great because we are missing our goalkeeper, a snow leopard who usually plays with us. Our team is called Flippy Rookies. We play in blue, and the team we are playing is called Capital Squad, and they wear red." Ollie says, "Okay, I'll have a go." The experienced Penguin says, "Alrighty then. Your job is to stop that puck from entering our goal." Ollie said to his siblings, "Luther, Dory, and Moe, you can each have a turn at goalkeeping in each round of the match, okay?" Luther says, "I can do that." Dory says, "Yes, me too." Moe says, "I never played hockey before, but I will do my best." So, in round 1, Ollie was in goal and the game commenced. The puck was hit towards Ollie's goal. Ollie stopped the puck and he hit it back so hard it went all the way into a red goal. He scored for his team. At the end of round 1, the Flippy Rookies were ahead. In round 2, Luther was in goal. Then Dory in round 3, and in the final round, it would be up to Moe. Like Ollie, Moe wanted to score a goal around, and then as it came close to Moe's goal, he hit a puck hard and it flew straight for the red goal. But the Snowcat goalkeeper on the red team hit it straight back to Moe, who was feeling very nervous. Quickly, Moe hit a puck back again, and this time it flew straight into the back of the red goal. At the end of the game, the Flippy Rookies had won. All the Flippy Rookie fans cheered the 4 siblings. The snow leopard who first met a cat said, "Well done, you did it." Ollie says, "Yes, we were lucky maybe, but we did win, Dory." Dory says, "Well, looks like we have 2 more challenges before we get a blue winter orb." The next challenge was about catching fish to give to the penguins. Ollie says, I guess the penguins must be hungry if they want us to catch fish for them." Luther says, "Well, I am also a bit hungry. If we catch enough, maybe we could have some." Ollie says, "Okay, let's get started." All the penguins looked on as the cats started to catch fish with their paws. The fish were thrown into baskets. Once all the baskets were full, the penguins thanked the cats. The task has been completed. Their last task was snowballing. The cats had to knock down ice pins using large snowballs bowled along with an ice rink. To complete the task, the cats each had 10 attempts to score a strike. They would have to knock down all 10 ice pins with 1 snowball. The siblings started rolling snowballs down the icy bowling alley. Ollie went to have a go first, and then Luther, then Dory, and then Moe. With no luck, they still had 9 more rounds to go. But who would get the strike? For the first 9 rounds, the cats had no luck at all. Then, during the 10th round, Ollie took careful aim, and he rolled a snowball quickly down the bowling alley. And with a crash, the ball knocked down all 10 pins. Ollie saved the day. Moe says, "Yay, way to go, Ollie!" Dory says, "You did it!" Luther says, "Well done, my bro." Ollie says, "Thanks, I just got lucky, guys. Any one of us could have done it." With all tasks complete, they went back to see a snow leopard waiting at a rock at the top of the island. They told her about their achievements. Snow leopard says, "Wow, so you finished with all the tasks. Well done. Here is your reward." The snow leopard gave them the last orb that the siblings would need to save Alvidar and their parents with. Ollie says, "Well, we gotta go. Goodbye for now." Snow leopard says, "Take care, cats, and good luck." Ollie, Luther, Dory, and Moe went getting straight back to Morriston with the blue orb. The next day, somewhere out in Slickar's dark realm, he, Bert, and JJ were exploring a way to resurrect a Jade Titan Jade called the Jagwolf. The Titan would terrorize Morriston to make Nosball pay for looking after his sibling cats. Slickar says, "Alright, here we are. This is where the beast was doomed inside its prison. I suggest you stand aside." Slickar used his most powerful dark magic to break the whole prison open and set the Jagwolf free. Ah, let's hide! Cried Bert as he and JJ hid behind a rock. The Jaguar roared as he gained his freedom. Slicker says, Yes! Yes! You're free! And now you do as I command. After he said that, he led the Titan to Morriston, where a destruction would begin and Nosball would be defeated. The professor in Morriston was working on a new portal to restore Alvdar by using the 4 orbs the cat had recovered. And soon our 4 heroes would be home. Nosball, Klupshaw, Shadow, and the 4 fairies went to say goodbye to them. Professor says, Okay, Nosball, looks like I'm nearly finished. Then the cats can restore everything in the lost realm of Alvdar. Shadow says, Take care of yourself, guys. Ollie, will you come back to visit me sometime soon? Ollie says, Of course I will. And it's because I love you. Shadow says, I love you too, Ollie Berry. Klupshaw says, Have a safe journey back to Alvdar, okay? Moe says, We will do. I do like it here, by the way, and you and Nosball have been really nice to us. Klupshaw says, Oh, thank you. Nosball says, Well, cats, good luck. The siblings gave Nosball a hug. Lulu says, Oh, I'm gonna miss the little fellows. Natasha says, Yeah, me too. Just as the cats were getting ready to go to a portal to Alvdar, they heard a roaring noise. It was a Jade Titan Jade Jaguar. The roar was deafening. The professor says, What is that noise? Nosball realized where the noise had come from and he said, I recognize that sound. Somehow the Jade Titan has escaped from its prison. But who could have helped it get free? The Jaguar came to destroy Morriston. Then Slicker appeared with a cackle and said, Surprised to see me, Nosball. You do realize that you were adopting the kittens I was after, and you will pay for it now. Nosball became very angry and turned to Slicker. Slicker, are you mad? Slicker says, Am I mad? I am not mad. I will destroy your Morriston and make it part of my dark realm. Nosball summoned his cat warriors to prepare for battle. The warriors used their spears and catapults to attack the Jade Jaguar, but the Titan was just too powerful. Ollie and the siblings looked on. They decided to help defeat the Titan. Dory says, Ollie, I was going to say that we could do the same thing we did to that bear. Ollie says, Just remind me. Dory says, We make a big green dog fall off a cliff. Ollie agreed with Dory's plan. So, Ollie, Dory, Luther and Moe went running towards and shouting at the Titan to try to distract it and get its attention. They wanted the Titan to chase them. At the same time, the 2 griffins chased and caught Lilu. JJ says, I gotcha, pretty ladybug. Natasha says, Hey, let her go. Come and get me instead. I have something for you. I have tuna. JJ says, okay. JJ released Lilu, who said, You heard what Natasha said? She has tuna for you in the cave. Bert says, Tuna? Oh yeah, I love tuna. JJ says, Me too. Lilu and Natasha and the other 2 fairies flew to a cave, and Bert and JJ followed them. They went inside the cave, and JJ says, Bert, it's getting dark in here. Bert says, Yes, it is, but need to find the tuna. Then they heard a terrifying noise. It was the piranha cat plants with whiskers. They were told by the fairies to scare Bert and JJ away. Bert and JJ says, Da! Griffin eaters, da! Bert and JJ ran away as fast as they could. The fairies won, and they turned the piranha plants back into rosy flowers. The fairies laughed at the runaway griffins, and Lilu said, We did it, and thanks for saving me. Natasha says, That's okay, Lilu. The Jade Jaguar was chasing the siblings as they ran towards a cliff edge at the end of the realm. Dory says, Okay, boys, get ready for this, just like last time. The Titan closed on the cats and then pounced towards them. At the last moment, the siblings dodged to get out of the way. The Jaguar landed on the very edge of a cliff, which started to collapse under its weight, and the Titan fell. It tumbled, splashed, and smashed into pieces. After that, Dory laughed happily and said, "We did it again! Great job, boys!" Luther says, "This is amazing, but what about Slicker?" Ollie says, "Oh yes, he's the one who brought every single monster that we defeated." Slicker shouted to them, "Bah! You defeated me again, but I am not done yet. I'll return to Alvadar through the new portal you have built. I have evil work to do there. Follow me, if you dare." Slicker rushed to a portal station in Morston. He had put a spell on the cat's new portal and changed a destination to his dark realm. Slicker thought to himself, "I won't trick those cats and lead them to my lair." Slicker pushed past Nosbor and Clubsher. He stepped through the portal and disappeared. Ollie and Luther rushed to stop him to try to protect Alvadar. As they stepped into a portal, they realized they had been tricked, but it was too late. The professor says, "Oh no! Someone has put a spell on the new portal! It no longer leads to Alvadar! This is awful! Awful, I tell you!" Ollie gasped as he arrived in the Dark Realm. "Oh no, 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 no!" Ollie and Luther had to be brave. Now they would have to defeat Slicker himself. As Luther and Ollie disappeared through the portal, Dory and Moe realized a trap. They stopped themselves just in time. Dory called to Ollie and Luther through the portal, "I can't follow you there. Slicker's place is too dark and scary for me." Ollie called back through the portal in a faint voice, "Don't worry, Dory. It's gonna be okay. Moe will look after you." Moe says, "Okay, Ollie and Luther. Go get him." Ollie and Luther arrived in the Dark Realm, and on seeing Slicker's castle, they rushed inside. They saw Slicker sitting on the throne. Slicker says, "Well, well, what a pleasant surprise to see you here. Congratulations! Now it is time to put you under my curse, just like your mother and your father and all of Alvadar." Luther realized what Slicker had done, and he got angry and said, "No! You need to remove a curse and restore Alvadar." Luther went to attack Slicker, but Slicker struck out at him, knocking him to the floor. Luther just lay there, very still. Then Slicker cackled madly. "Yes! Yes! That's one down and one to go. You are on your own now, brat. Once I have finished with you, I will seek out the last two in Morston. This is just too easy." Ollie was shocked to see Luther lying motionless on the floor. He looked over to Slicker angrily and said, "No! You killed my brother, you monster!" Ollie ran and attacked Slicker, but Slicker dodged out of the way. The final battle has begun. It was Ollie versus Slicker. Bert and JJ watched a battle and hoped that Slicker would win. JJ says, "Oh, this is going to be good. Come on, Slicker, kill him, kill him." Bert says, "Yeah, I know you can do it, man." Ollie and Slicker fought on. The battle took them to the edge of a cliff. Below the cliff was a pit filled with lava. Slicker said to him, "Ha! So you think you can defeat me even after I destroyed your brother and your parents and all the cats in Alvadar?" Ollie says, "I will avenge your evil deeds, Slicker. Bring it on." Slicker starts to chant a magic spell. His claws grew long and sharp like daggers. He looked at Ollie and said, "Your end has come, brat." Then Ollie remembered how he and his siblings had defeated the bear and the jaguar. Slicker ran at Ollie, slashing out with his dagger claws. At the very last second, Ollie dodged out of the way, tripping Slicker as he slashed with his claws. Slicker lost his balance and started to fall. The edge of the cliff crumbled and Slicker plummeted towards a lava. Bert and JJ, who were watching the battle, looked on in horror as they saw their master falling towards a lava. They flew as quickly as they could to save him. Just in time, they caught his paws and flew away from the castle. Slicker says, "Fools! Let me finish a job!" JJ says, "We caught you just in time, Master. It was so hot we almost got fried in lava. How about we take you somewhere safe where we can all cool down? What do you think, Bert?" Bert says, "Yep, my feathers are smoking from the heat. I think that's a good idea." Slicker called to Ollie, "This is not over, brat. You will be sorry. I will return one day." Ollie ran straight to Luther's side and said, "Luther, wake up, please. Stay alive, please." At that point, Luther came to. He had only been unconscious. Revincent said, "Oh, Ollie, what happened?" Ollie was so relieved and said, "Oh, Luther, thank goodness you're okay. Hey, I defeated Slicker, but the Griffin saved him, but he's gone for now." Luther smiled. He was so proud of what his brother had done. Then suddenly, he noticed that a lava was rising and said, Ollie, I think the castle is about to fill with lava and crumble. We have to run, fast." Ollie says, "Oh boy, I have a bad feeling about this." Ollie and Luther ran out of the castle. They burst through a castle door and ran down the steps. Ahead of them, they could see that a portal was still there. The lava was closing on them quickly. Just in time, they dived through a portal and closed it behind them. The Cats of Morriston saw Ollie and Luther emerge through the portal and celebrated their return. Moe says, "Ollie, Luther, you're back! I was afraid that you were gone forever." Ollie and Luther explained what had happened. Dory says, "I can't believe you did it! No more Slicker ever again. Now we can fix Alvidar." Lilu, the fairy, was so happy to see Luther return. She gave him a big hug. Luther gave her lots of kisses in return. Lilu says, "Oh, I've got kitty kisses. You give me lots of kisses." Amanda says, "Oh my gosh, that is so cute." "Well, Clubsha," Natasha says, "if the professor can fix a portal that Slicker enchanted, we could try to use it to restore Alvidar." "Oh yes," Clubsha says, "of course. We should try a portal again." The professor eventually fixed a portal and aligned it to Alvidar. Then Shadow says, "Ollie, I just want to say that you since returned from the evil gateway. I was just wondering if I could come with you so I can meet with your parents. Only if you want to, of course." Ollie says, "Are you sure?" Shadow says, "Yeah, what do you think?" Ollie says, "Well, yeah, I could do. Are you ready, guys?" Dory, Luther, and Moe says, "Yes." The gateway that had been made from the orbs the cats collected was full of magic. As soon as the professor pointed it at Alvidar, things started to change. The Dark Lord's magic had been undone, and Alvidar was restored. The crystal statues were turned back into living citizens. Alvidar was now fully restored. Ollie, Luther, Dory, and Moe passed through a portal to return to Alvidar. Shadow and the fairies came along with them. Natasha says, "Well, girls, we're here. I've never been there before." Lilu says, "I haven't either. But it seems a nice place. I was thinking if I could show them where their mum is." Natasha says, "Yeah, well, go ahead." Lilu and Shadow helped them find their parents. They finally saw their mother, Scrumpy, and their father, Toadin. The king and queen of Alvidar were delighted to see their children. They came running to each other and hugged. They had been reunited. Scrumpy cried happily while hugging them all and said, "Oh, children, I can't believe it. You saved us all." Ollie says, "I know, Mum. We were safe at Morriston for a long time before we could do anything." Scrumpy says, "Yes, I know. I'm so proud of you all." Toadin says, "Well done, all of you! You did it! Look around. Every cat in this realm are free and well, and all thanks to you, Alvidar is safe once again." Ollie says, "Thanks, but we did have help. I have someone from Morriston who helped us save you." Ollie went to show them Shadow and the fairies with Dory, Luther, and Moe and said, This is Shadow, and these are the 4 fairies. Lulu says, I'm the first one who saw the basket. It was 3 years ago. Scrumpy says, thank you for looking after my children. Toadin asks the children, so, Ollie, Luther, Dory and Moe, what would you like to do? You still got a few years before you rule Alvdar. Ollie says, I was wondering, Morriston was a great place, ruled by Norseport and Klupsha. Maybe we could stay there for a bit longer, and maybe the cats of Morriston could visit us here. I met this beautiful girl in Morriston and we fell in love, so I belong with her. Scrumpy and Toadin agreed. They thought free travel between the 2 realms was a good idea. Ollie and his siblings choose to return to Morriston with Shadow and the fairies. Ollie and Shadow hugged each other. They were so happy that they could spend the rest of their lives together. They would return to Alvdar often to see Scrumpy and Toadin. Scrumpy says, we'll see you soon, and good luck. So the 5 cats and 4 fairies went to a portal back to Morriston. The Professor saw them and said, oh, welcome back. Why have you returned? Ollie says, we saved Alvdar and we decided to stay here for a while. Dory says, yeah, maybe I quite like it here. Norseport says, that's very kind of you to say so. With Alvdar safe, the adventure is over, so what would you like to do now? Moe says, I know, we could go to Tiger Shores for a vacation or holiday. It's a very warm and sunny realm. Shadow says, ooh, I want to come too. The Professor let them use a Tiger Shores portal, so the siblings, along with Shadow, Bomber, and the 4 fairies, went to Tiger Shores for a warm vacation. Ollie and his gang went to relax on some beach towels that the fairies had brought for them. Luther and Lilu were lying down sharing the same towel. The rest had towels to themselves. Ollie and Shadow were talking. Ollie says, so, Shadow, it's kind of nice that we can lie down in the sunshine next to each other, isn't it? Shadow says, yeah, it's lovely to be together. It's so hot here, but at least our fur is protecting us from a sunburn. The other cats were chatting as well. Moe says, you know, Dory, one of us will rule Alvdar one day, but I don't know which of us is the oldest. Dory says, actually, we were born at the same time. We could take turns ruling, don't you think? Moe says, that would be great. The fairies talk among themselves. Livia says, this is going to be the best summer ever. Amanda says, yeah, it's so totally the best. Natasha says, I'm glad the cats have come to stay with us for a while. Livia says, what if, in the future, another realm was attacked by an evil villain? Amanda says, nah, I don't think it would ever happen again. Natasha says, I hope not, but Slicker and the Griffins still live, don't they? Some years had passed since Ollie and his gang saved Alvdar from Slicker. Since then, the land had been peaceful and people prospered. On this day, Ollie and his siblings were travelling all the way to Morriston to see Norseport and Klupsha's new child, Mealy. Ollie says, well, this is going to be a great day at Morriston. Ever since we received the letter telling us about Mealy, I have been so excited. Dory says, I know. I bet Klupsha Norseport's kitten is so cute. Ollie says, it's an honour that Klupsha had asked us to look after her new kitten for a while. Luther says, I'm looking forward to see the cutie. Moe says, me too, Luther. Luther says, I hope she doesn't dribble over me when I babysit her. As the gang were chatting, they came upon Shadow, Bomber, and the fairies. Shadow called to Ollie's group, hey guys, hey Ollie Berry. She and Ollie kissed. Norseport and Klupsha's kitten is a girl. I guess, like us. You are on your way to see her. So the 6 cats and the 4 fairies travelled together and arrived at the castle to see the new child. As the gang rushed inside the castle, they saw Norseport and Klupsha. Norseport says, hello, dear friends. Come and meet our new baby girl. They saw Klupsha with Mealy. And she did look so cute. Mealy, the Princess of Morstan. Dory says, "Oh, she's so cute." Amanda says, "I know. She's the first Princess of Morstan." Dory says, "Yeah, I think she is." Natasha looked at the new kitten and said, "Hello, little Mealy. You are the most beautiful girl in all the realms." Mealy let out her first meow, and it gave Natasha tears of joy, and she said, "Oh, she said her first word." Lulu says, "Natasha, are you okay?" Natasha says, "I'm more than okay. We're just happy because our young princess is born and has just meowed." Lulu had tears of joy also, and the two fairies hugged each other, as did Livia and Amanda. Then Ollie decided to ask Nosbord a question. "So, Nosbord, are you going to show the Cats of Morstan your new daughter?" Nosbord says, "Yes, of course. It's all in my schedule, my boy." Nosbord and Klupsha had been making plans to present their daughter to the citizens of Morstan. On the day of presentation, all Nosbord and Klupsha's subjects came to the castle to see Mealy. Nosbord says, "My friends, my wife and I had a child, and it's a girl." Klupsha says, "Here she is, and we have named her Mealy, Princess of Morstan." The cats were delighted to see the little princess. Dory and Ollie turned to each other, and Dory said to her brother, "This is amazing, Ollie." Ollie says, "Yes, it is. The Cats of Morstan are so happy." Ollie went on to ask Dory if she would help him babysit when Nosbord and Klupsha had kingdom duties to attend to. Luther and Moe said they would take turns babysitting with us. Dory wasn't keen on babysitting, but she agreed. That afternoon, Ollie and his siblings are looking after Mealy in the castle garden. They were just watching Mealy play around. The fairies were sitting in a branch at the top of a tree watching the kitten play. Livia says, "Oh, would you look at that? The child is having a fun day. It is a good thing the heroes of Alvadar are looking after her while our king and queen are attending to their duties." Natasha says, "It is." Amanda says, "Where's Lulu going?" Natasha says, She's flying down to be next to Luther. You know how she likes him. Do you remember her giving him tummy tickles?" Livia says, "Oh yeah, I remember that too." At that moment, Dory's boyfriend Dylan appeared with his sister Daisy. Dylan called to Dory, "Hey baby." Dory says, "Hi honey, how you doing?" Dory introduced them to Ollie, Luther and Moe. Dory says, "My brothers, this is Dylan and Daisy. Dylan and I met each other a couple of months ago." Ollie says, "Hey Dylan, nice to meet you. And you too, Daisy." Dory says, "We're here to meet and look after the Princess Mealy." Dylan says, "Cool." Dylan approached Mealy and said, "Hey little lady, how you doing?" Dylan then turned to Dory and asked if she would like to go for a walk with him around the castle grounds and into a village a short distance away. Dory says, "Oh yes, I would love to." Dory and Dylan set out together, leaving Daisy behind to help look after the princess. Dory says, "It's nice to go out walking with you. It seems ages since we were last together." Dylan says, "Yes, I have missed you, Dory." Dory says, "I love it here in Morstan. What about you?" Dylan says, "Same here. I think this place is absolutely beautiful." Their walk took them to the village called Archer, where they decided to find somewhere to eat. Soon they found a cozy-looking tavern that looked just perfect. Dory and Dylan sat down together at a table and took a menu each to look at. Dory decided to have fish and chips with vanilla milk, and Dylan decided to have the same. The waitress came and took their order. Waitress, "Okay, coming right up." A few minutes later, their meal arrived. "Here you go. I must say you two make a lovely couple." Dory and Dylan says, "Thank you, that's kind of you to say." Dory says, "Wow, Dylan, this food looks amazing." After their romantic dinner, they returned to the castle. Somewhere far away from all the other realms, there was a very dark and cruel island. On that island lived a very evil lord who was a panther and an emperor. His name was Lord Pogwa. He was an immensely powerful and evil creature. He was banished to this dark island by Nosbor's father a long time ago. With no means to cross a sea, all the other realms in the world would be safe from him. Pogwa, however, had been using his dark magic on the crows of the island. Over the years, they had grown into giant birds that he and his minions could ride. Now the sea was no obstacle to him, and he would get his revenge at last. He said to himself in a very deep, dark, slithering voice, "Soon, all of Morstan will be mine. With my eternal and unlimited powers, I will control all of the kingdom, and I will rule every cat's mind. Then, I will destroy its king and his family. I will be king, but even better, I will be an immortal god." Pogwa decided it was time to talk to his Panther Jaguar minions about his plan. Pogwa says, "Listen up, my Jaguars! I have a plan to rule Morstan. Its wretched king Bobcalcer banished me here in this cold and miserable place. Now his pesky brat Nosbor sits on the throne with his royal family around him." Jaguar 1 says, "A royal family? So, what is your plan, Lord? What are we to do?" Pogwa says, "I will have my revenge. We will destroy them all." Jaguar 1 says, "Oh yes, my liege, we can do that." Pogwa says, "We have giant crows that will fly us across the sea. On the way to Morstan, there is the realm of the Purtles. Its inhabitants are weak. There we will test the crows' skills and refine our strategy before we lay siege to the castle of Morstan. With my dark magic, the crows have become my loyal servants. The beat of their black wings will be like thunder over Morstan." The Jaguar says, "My lord, I will gather our army and have them prepare to fly." Pogwa says, "Yes, all the way to Purtle Island, then on to Morstan to conquer everything and anything there. I will be prepared for the death of the royal family." The Jaguar says, "Are they sick?" Pogwa says, "No, fool, we're going to kill them, and all the citizens will bow down to the great Pogwa. Do you understand what I want you to do?" The Jaguar says, "Oh yes, master. Let us gather the crows." Pogwa and the Jaguars went all the way to a dark nests to see the crows. Pogwa says, "Ah, my friends, are you ready?" he asked the crows. The crows squawked and screeched. The sound was deafening. Pogwa laughed and let out a thunderous roar. "Yes! Yes! And now get ready. I'm so looking forward to getting my paws on that realm. Once Morstan has fallen, we will attack the other realms. The world will be mine. All mine!" The Jaguars and Pogwa mounted the giant crows and flew first to Purtle Island. Pogwa burst out in a very distorted laugh and called to a king of the Purtles, "Fall before me, you slimy creatures! I will destroy this kingdom of yours, and I will make you suffer!" The crows descended on Purtle Island. Its inhabitants were defenseless. Within hours, the island was in Pogwa's hands, and many of the Purtles had all been destroyed. 2 young Purtles managed to escape to the sea, where they swam towards Morstan. Pogwa didn't much like the look of Petal Island. It was far too colourful and pretty. He would stay a while and make some changes. The place needed to be darker. That would be more to his liking. Morriston could wait a while. Besides, the longer he waited, the bigger his crows would grow. The next day, Ollie and the gang decided to go out for a walk together. The fairies also decided to join them. Ollie says, "It's a lovely day for our walk, my friends." The fairies agreed and suggested they take a stroll to a beach. Moe says, "Okay, that sounds lovely. Let's go." After an hour or so into the walk, the party were approaching the beach. Lilu thought she could see something in the water. It seemed to be splashing around. I wonder, is that someone swimming? Who could that be? Natasha saw something swimming too and said, "Looks like there are 2 turtles. They must have swum all the way from Petal Island. They must be exhausted. Maybe we should help them." Lilu says, "Yes, let's fly out to them to make sure they're okay." As the fairies flew off, the cats ran towards the water's edge. Natasha says, "Hello there, can we help you?" The 2 turtles named Earl and Dipper were exhausted and could hardly answer. Eventually, they collapsed on the beach of Morriston, where the cats stood around them. Earl says, "Oh, hey guys, something terrible has happened to our home." Dipper says, "Yes, the sky turned dark, and when we looked up, we saw giant black pigeons flying all around. A large cat was riding the largest bird. He was laughing like a mad thing, and his army of giant birds and their riders descended on our people with their sharp claws and fangs." Claws and fangs? He said his name was Lord Pogwa. Earl says, "We only just managed to escape with our lives. I am not sure if anyone else survived." The fairies and cats were shocked, and Amanda says, "Oh no, that's terrible. I'm so sorry." Earl says, "He shouted that he's going to take over the world, including your home." Amanda says, "Oh no, not Morriston." Then Ollie says, "What, really? Are you kidding me?" Dipper says, "Sadly, no. I absolutely cannot believe that mean, gritty son of a..." Leo says, I really didn't say that because this is a children's book." Dipper says, right, sorry." Ollie says, "Guys, we must take these 2 brave pearls to see our king and queen. We must warn them." Earl says, "Yeah, I think you should. We'll come along." There was no time to lose. The cats, fairies and Puddles made great haste all the way to Nosbor's castle. Ollie and the gang ran inside the castle looking for the king. They found Nosbor with his council in the throne room, and Ollie says, "My Lord Nosbor, please excuse our intrusion, but there's something I have to tell you." Nosbor says, "Hello, Ollie. What is it that brings you to me sort out of breath?" Ollie says, "I'm afraid we bring bad news. We met 2 little Puddles on the beach. They swam all the way here from Petal Island to tell us what happened to their realm and their people. They said that some dark lord took over their land, and his intention is to rule the world. He may well be coming to take Morriston next." Nosbor and Klupsha gasped. "Oh no," Klupsha says, and she says, "Why would he ever do such thing?" Nosbor says, "I think I recognize a description of him. I think he's called Lord Pogwa." Dipper says, "Yes, that's the name he used. Lord Pogwa." Ollie says, "Lord Pogwa?" Nosbor says, "Yes, you see, long ago he fought my father's side, but Pogwa betrayed him and tried to claim the throne for himself. Pogwa had half of my father's army by his side, and so a fierce battle broke out. Pogwa wanted to destroy my royal family and our loyal followers. My father defeated him and banished him for good, to a faraway place where no cat has ever been before. Without the means to cross the sea, the world would be safe from this evil lord. That's a story of how my father protected his land and his people. Luther says, wow, so he has found a way to cross the sea on his giant birds, and it looks like he is hungry for revenge. Norsebor says, since Pogwa plans to come back here, we will quickly need to find help. We no longer have an army that can stand against him alone. I must take you to a portal station to go to another realm called Macfall Peak. I have friends there. They're called King Felix and Queen Felicia, and their daughter Princess Arabella. They can help us, I am sure. Moe says, okay, that sounds like a plan. The king took the cats and fairies to the portal station. They arrived at the portal station to meet up with Professor Simon, the professor who helped the 4 cats go to 4 realms to find orbs that saved Alvadar. Professor Simon says, my King Nosbor, welcome to a portal station, and hello there Ollie, Luther, Moe and Dory. Ollie says, hi Professor, it's good to see you again. We are here to go to Macfall Peak. The 2 little turtles warned us about some Dark Lord. Professor Simon says, really? What's a Dark Lord trying to do? Ollie says, well, he is planning to take over the world, including Moriston. Professor Simon was shocked and said, oh my, not Moriston! Ollie says, I know, we must go to Macfall Peak to try and get help to defeat his army of Crow Riders. Professor Simon composed himself and says, yes, I'll turn on the portal right away. The professor turned some large dials to tune the portal to Macfall Peak. Norsebor says, good luck, my friends, and please make haste. Cats and Fairy says, thank you. Ollie, Luther, Dory, Moe, Natasha, Lilu, Livia, and Amanda stepped through the portal and disappeared. In an instant, they arrived at Macfall Peak. They finally arrived at Macfall Peak. The gang were amazed to see what the realm looked like. It had highlands and meadows, and of course the castle. Lilu says, oh my wow, this place is amazing. Natasha says, I know, it's very nice. Ollie says, okay guys, we're going to see the king and queen and princess. They can help us find a way to take down the Dark Lord Pogwa. The gang made their way to the castle to meet the royal family. Guard 1 says, halt! Guard 2 says, who goes there? The gang stopped. Even the fairies were very nervous. But Moe decided to say something, and he said, we are guests to see the royal family. I have important news from our homeland. Please, may we enter? Guard 1 says, come on in, lad. Guard 2 says, we'll open the doors and I will escort you. The doors were open, and the gang entered inside. The cats and fairies entered the castle through a huge, heavy gate. Dory says, wow, how amazing this whole place is. Ollie says, it's brilliant. He turned to Moe and said, it's a good thing you told the gods about the news about Moriston, wasn't it? Moe says, thanks. The guard led them to a throne room. The guard asked permission to speak and explained that the cats had important news for him. King Felix says, well, hello there, lads and lassies. I am King Felix. This is my Queen Felicia and my beautiful lass, Arabella. Moe says, hi, your majesties. Arabella says, hi there. I'm very pleased to meet you all. King Felix says, please, lass, let your father do the talking. Arabella says, okay. King Felix says, so, what news do you have and what can we do for you? Ollie says, well, something terrible happened to our realm, Moriston. I met these 2 puddles, and they said that there'll be giant crows flying around. They are sent by an evil lord called Pogwa. The crows and their panther riders have destroyed the realm of Pertles, and they are coming for our realm, Moriston, next. We cannot resist with them without help. King Nospor sent us to ask you for your help, O generous king. King Felix says, I am good friends with King Nospor. Of course I will help. This sounds like a task for our eagle riders.
They swift and keen warriors. They will save your home. But there is something I would ask in exchange. Some flying monster, not seen before, was taken a liking to eagle eggs. The creature is eating them.
Queen Felicia says, we could task you defeat this. Otherwise our eagles will become extinct. Lilo says, oh my, what does the monster look like? King Felix says, he breathes fire, and he growls like a jaguar. It is called the Draguar. Ollie says, I see. We'll take care of a Draguar for you, King Felix. Wish us luck. The cats and fairies departed to seek battle with the Draguar. Arabella says, they're very nice cats. I always like the one who talked to me. Queen Felicia says, oh, that's very sweet of you. King Felix told a cat where they may find this monster, and without delay, they made their way to its den. Luther says, okay guys, this is getting a bit creepy down here. Lilu, do you have something that glows to help us see? It's dark in there. Lilu says, yeah, I can glow myself. That will help. The fairies used magic to make themselves glow and flew into a Draguar's cave with the cat behind them. Ollie called to the fairies, do you see it yet? A few seconds later, the fairies turned and flew past them, leaving the cave. They well yelling, yes, the Draguar is in there! Ahead the cat saw billowing smoke and heard a thunderous growl. The Draguar roared again as the cats prepared for battle. The Scottish Folds had heard what was happened and decided to go and watch the battle. Even Felix, Felicia, and Arabella came to watch. Arabella says, come on lads, you can do it, you can do it. The Draguar spat a ball of fire at Luther, but Luther dodged. Ollie grabbed the monster's tail. The Draguar's tail swung around and threw Ollie to the ground next to where it had gathered some eggs to feast on later. Thinking quickly, Ollie grabbed all the eggs and looked to find another way out. At least those eggs would be safe. He called to the fairies to help him. Dory says, how can we defeat this thing? Moe says, come on Dory, I know what to do. Follow me. Then Dory and Moe turned and ran and squeezed themselves into a crevice in the cave wall. Moe then taunted the Draguar, sending it into a rage. The Draguar let out a mighty roar, lowered its head and charged at the crevice. Bang! Its head hit the cave wall and bounced off. It charged again, and with a crash sent dust and rocks falling to the floor, or ground. After a fifth charge, there was a loud crack. The cave was about to collapse. Dory and Moe says, Ollie, Luther, get out now! The cave is collapsing! The rocks fell and crushed the Draguar. The battle was won. Luther and Ollie looked on to see the pile of rocks on top of the monster. Ollie says, well, that seems to do the trick. Livia and Lilo hugged Luther, and Natasha and Amanda hugged Ollie. Lilo says, we did it! You defeated the monster! Livia asked, where's Dory and Moe? I hope they're okay. They were nowhere to be seen. Ollie says, oh no, this is not good. Dory and Moe are missing. The Draguar must have eaten them. Lilu gasped, it ate Dory and Moe? Oh no, I can't believe it. Just then, Dory and Moe popped up from under some rocks and called to them. Ollie and Luther says, Moe, Dory, you're alive! The fairies cheered in relief and hugged them also. Natasha says, Moe, Dory, thank goodness you're right. Moe says, 9 lives, remember? Natasha says, 8 lives left. Ollie says, and we have all the eagle eggs. The Scottish Folds cheered and rushed at the heroes. Arabella went to Moe and said, well done, I am so proud of you and your siblings. Moe says, "Oh, gee, thanks. My name's Moe, by the way." Arabella says, "I'm Princess Arabella. You are the most amazing cat I've ever met." Moe says, "Thanks. Now we can have the eagles to fight the crows and save my home." Arabella says, "Aye, of course you can." The eagle eggs hatched, and several weeks later, the hatchlings were all growing, big, healthy, and majestic. Looking at the largest eagle, Arabella says, "Oh, look at you strong." The eagle hugged Arabella with its wings. Moe says, "Oh, this is so cute." Then the eagle hugs Moe also. Meanwhile, at Petal Island, Lord Pogwa finally completed his entire takeover of the realm. Many Pertles had lost their lives, and the ones that remained were in great peril. They all hated him so much for what he had done. Pogwa says,
"This is so delightful. My first conquest. Pearl Island is my first realm to rule, and this will be the first of many."
Jaguar 1 says,
"Yes, sire. I'm really looking forward to our next victory."
Jaguar 2 says,
"I love this place. It's so amazing, though."
Pogwa says,
"Yes, so do I."
Then from the crowd of Pertles gathered in the palace, one brave soul yelled at Pogwa,
"You maniac! You caused this! You must stop this right now!"
Pogwa looked at a crowd of Pertles and said,
It looks like I have a fan." "I am the lord of this land now, so you will bow down to me?"
Petal Peasant said, "No, never." The Petal replied. Pogwa says,
"Very well. You will be an example to those who won't bow to me."
Pogwa grabbed the Petal by the neck, then threw him out of the window. The Petal Peasant screamed, "Ah!"
"I'm okay. I just broke my shell. That's all."
Jaguar says,
"That's right. You stay out, peasant." Anyone else?
Pogwa shouted at the other Pertles,
"I need your attention right now. I have made this very simple, all of you, and this realm belongs to me now. Mark my words, if anyone causes me trouble, they will be punished severely. You cannot stop me. Do you understand?"
The Pertles were very upset. Even their babies were crying. Then Pogwa unfurled a map of the world to see which realm he should take next. He looked at a map with a frown on his face. Then a few seconds later, he spotted Moristan and said,
Yes, Moristan. Bob Carl's son lives here as king. You hear me, boy? I'm coming home to take your palace. It will be mine. I'm coming for you, son of Bob Carlsa."
Meanwhile, at Macfall Peak, Ollie, his gang, and all the Eagle Riders were getting ready to fly the battle with the crows and save Moristan. Arabella says, "Alright then, all the eagles are ready for us to fly all the way to Moristan." Moe says, "Absolutely, Arabella. This is going to be like when I restored Alvadar by using 4 orbs in each realm." Arabella says, "Alvadar? I never heard of this place before. Is it nice there?" Moe says, "Yeah, it was my home, but I live in Moristan nowadays, and so do my brothers and sister." Arabella says, "That's really nice." The cats and eagle riders are mounted. Then King Felix says, "My friends, you are on a mission to protect Moristan from those scrawny crows who are trying to take over the world. Thanks to the new lads for saving the eagle eggs from a bloodthirsty Draguar. My daughter will join all of your lads too." Queen Felicia says, "Do be careful. Those crows will charge you with their sharp black beaks and claws." The cat and Arabella lead the way with a flurry of beating wings. The eagles took to the air and wheeled towards Moriston. Queen Felicia says, "And good luck." So Arabella and her new friends were to lead the Eagle Riders into battle to save Moriston. As the eagles soared upwards, Natasha closed her eyes and felt the wind rush against her face. Ollie says, "Natasha, I'd open your eyes while flying if I was you." Natasha says, "I know, Ollie, but this is so nice and relaxing flying like this." Ollie says, "Well, okay, just be careful you don't get hit by something." Lulu says, "How awesome is this? We have an army of eagles, and we can save Moriston with them." Luther says, "Of course." Lulu called her three sisters. "Are you keeping up all right, girls?" Natasha, Livia, and Amanda says, "We're fine." Dory says, "I'm so nervous. I don't want any crows hurting my eagle." Ollie says, "We'll be fine. Don't worry." At the same time, Purtle Island looked like a very different place. It was darker and felt foreboding. The Purtles hoped that the evil jaguars would go away and never come back. Then with a loud beating noise, a shadow was cast over the land as Pogwa and his huge murder of crow riders took to the air. Moriston would be their next conquest. Pogwa's hungry eyes were focused, ahead with an evil smile on his face. Meanwhile, Arabella looked ahead and saw land. It was Moriston. "I can see Moriston now. Prepare for battle, my friends." Meanwhile, at Moriston, Nosbor was feeling quite anxious. He was very concerned about the fate of his kingdom. Klupsha, seeing his worried face, said, "Nosbor, what is it?" Nosbor replied, "I don't believe that our kingdom's going to fall. But if it does, then Mili won't be our future queen when she grows up." Klupsha says, "I know, my dear. We'll just have to hope and pray that the cats and fairies are able to stop the Dark Lord and his evil minions." He gave Mila a cuddle, then Nosbor held her in his arms. Nosbor says, "Thank you, daughter. Holding you makes me feel strong and it gives me hope. The time is almost upon us and must visit and ready the guards." Klupsha says, "Have strength and courage, my dearest king." The captain of the guard entered a palace and said, "Your Highness, the black crows are coming. The sky is black. There are so many." Nosbor says, "Do your duty, Captain. Prepare the men." Captain says, "Yes, my lord. We will take down these black crows." The cats were airborne riding on the eagles, flying all the way to protect Moriston from Pogwa's evil force of crows. Unable to talk to each other in flight, the cats were lost in their own thoughts. Ollie was thinking about the battle plan they had devised. They wanted to be flying much higher than the crows so they could drop on them from above, hopefully taking them by surprise. Also, the height advantage would give them the ability to hit the crows at speed. Arabella was worried that some of the eagles might get injured in the coming battle. The other cats thought were lost in Moriston, thinking how important it was to stop this evil Pogwa. The cats were almost upon the castle at Moriston. They were scanning the skies but could see no crows. Then Luther yelled at the top of his voice, "There they are, ahead and below us." "I see them now!" cried Arabella. "Moriston is under attack by crow riders. The crows were already attacking the inhabitants, except for one crow which was ridden by Pogwa. The crow took Pogwa to a castle where he dismounted and started smashing on the outer door with a heavy mace. It wouldn't take him long to get inside." Pogwa says, "Oh, yes, I am so looking forward to the next bit." At the same time, Ollie and the Eagle Riders prepared to swoop down on the crows. The eagles screeched. Nosbor looked out of the window and used his telescope. He saw that some of the cats riding the eagles were Ollie, Luther, Dory and Moe and said, "They're back! They're coming to save my kingdom!" Then suddenly a black figure ran at the king and grabbed him with his strong paws. Nosbor says, "No!" In the sky, as the battle was about to commence, one by one the eagles rolled onto their backs, tucked in their wings, and dropped on the crow at great speed. Arabella's eagle was the first to hit one of the crows. Its claws tore onto its back, unseating its rider in a cloud of black feathers. Many of the other eagles also found their mark. Arabella says, "Oi, it's time you crows went home." Crow Rider says, "That's a cute little bird you're riding. I'm going to take you down." The Crow Rider turned his mount to attack. The eagle and the crow were fighting with their claws and sharp beaks. They squawked and screeched at each other. Moe saw them fight. Then the crow pushed the eagle, causing Arabella to fall. "Ah! Help!" Arabella says. Moe says, "I'm coming for you, Arabella!" Moe and his eagle rushed to save Arabella from the fall. Just in time, the eagle flew under the falling Arabella, who landed safely on his back. Arabella says, "Thank you for saving me." Moe says, "You're welcome." Arabella says, "You know, I can always land on my feet. Cats do that." She smiled. "Anyways, let's get back to fighting these mangy crows." Moe says, "You got it." On the ground, Elle and Dipper were running from the crow. Elle says, "Help! Help!" Dipper says, "Please don't bite me!" Luther and Dory saw the two turtles running and went to their aid. Both eagles hit the crow at the same time, causing it to crash land, flinging its rider hard onto the ground. Dory and his eagle rushed to save them and said, "Hop in, guys!" Elle says, "Dory, good to see you again." Dipper says, "Thanks, buddy." The turtles jumped onto the eagle and were taken to safety. Elle was with Luther and Dipper was with Dory. Dipper called to Elle, "Hey, did you see what happened to Shadow?" Elle says, "Last time I saw her, she was running from some crows. They were getting very close to her and she seemed scared." Shadow screams, "Help!" Ollie saw her and rushed to save his love. Ollie's eagle took the crows by surprise, clawing and pecking at them. The crows flew away to find an easier prey. Ollie says, "Shadow, hop on, let's get you to safety." And he says, "Are you alright?" Shadow says, "Yes, you saved me, my brave Ollie." The eagles had taken the crows by surprise, and they fought hard. The crows were now in retreat. The battle was almost won, but there was Pogwa. The four cats dropped off Arabella, Shadow, and the turtles at a safe place, and then made haste to Nosbor's castle. Ollie thought that is where they would find the big mad panther. As the cats arrived at the broken castle door, they were joined by the fairies. Natasha says, "Are you going in the castle? Because I'm afraid Pogwa's too powerful." Ollie says, "Yeah, we are." Livia says, "I think you need our help. We can give you powers to help you defeat the panther." Ollie says, "Oh, yeah, that'll be great." Luther, Dory, and Moe welcomed the help. So Natasha, Lilu, Amanda, and Livia joined Ollie, Luther, Moe, and Dory, so together they could defeat Pogwa once and for all. In the castle, Pogwa had captured and caged Nosbor, Klupsha, and Mealy. Pogwa says,
"So, Nosbor, it's been so nice to see you again since your daddy kicked me out of the castle."
Nosbor says,
"Pogwa, you will never get away with this, ever."
Pogwa says,
"Well, it seems I already have. Now you be a good boy and declare your throne mine, or I'll destroy you and your despicable family."
Nosbor says, "Never!"
Pogwa says, "Well, let's do this the hard way then. We start by saying goodbye."
Pogwa grabbed Nosbor with one paw, and on the other paw he extended his long razor-sharp claws. Now the royal family would die. Suddenly, he heard a young voice saying, "You know, it's not polite to show your hand to our king like that." Pogwa asked, "Who said that?" Ollie says, "I said that." Luther says, "We're here to stop you." Pogwa burst out laughing at the four cats, tiny-looking cats.
"Oh, that is so silly and pathetic. Your fate will be the same as this pathetic so-called royal family."
Ollie smiled as he and his siblings prepared to fight the Mad Panther. Nosbor says, "Ollie, you came back." Klubsha says, "Be careful, he's very powerful." The fight between the four little cats and the big bad panther began. Luther is going to attack Pogwa with his claws, but was kicked away. He landed hard by the wall. Then Pogwa whacked Dory and Moe with both of his paws. Then Ollie saw his chance and sprung at the panther, clawing at his face. All this did was make Pogwa very angry. He took a swipe at Ollie and sent him flying. Pogwa says, "You cannot win, puny cats." The cats were not injured yet, but it was clear that the panther had the upper hand. They picked themselves up and called to the fairies for help. Pogwa says, "No one will ever banish me again. I am the new king of Morstan, and you will bow down to me." The fairies could see things were not going well for the cats, really. Natasha called to her sisters, "Girls, we need to cast our spells of the elements on each of them." Natasha gave Ollie the power of water. Lilu gave a power of fire to Luther. Amanda bestowed the power of air on Moe, and Livia gave a power of earth to Dory. The cats began to glow with power. Even some of their stripes changed colours. Pogwa was shocked.
"No, what is this sorcery?"
Ollie says, "Let's combine our powers together. We can defeat him. Ready, steady, go!" Livia says, "If they win, I'm going to cry." Together, the four cats reached out their paws towards a Mad Panther. The energy of the elements passed through them and struck their enemy. Pogwa screamed, but then he felt the energy of the elements was actually making him feel stronger. He started to laugh madly. He was becoming more powerful. Nosbor says, "No, it can't be." The four cats lowered their paws and ceased their attack. Pogwa breathed heavily. He had never felt so strong. He laughed again and said,
"Yes, I am the most powerful being in the world. You four brats can't defeat me. You helped me."
Ollie says, "Are you sure about that?" Moe says, "Take a look at your left paw first." Pogwa started to feel a little strange. His whole body started to feel stiff. He looked at his paw, and to his horror, it had turned to stone.
No, 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 no! Ah!
Then his body hardened and started to turn grey. He had been turned to stone with a look of terror on his face. Nosbor and Klubshot kept Mealy away from seeing the horror of Pogwa's fate. Even Ollie and his siblings and the fairies looked away. Then the statue turned into dust and blew out the window and disappeared. There were only two things left where he was. His two wristbands had dropped to the floor. The fairies came to the cats and Lilu said, "We did it!" Luther says, Yes, we did it!" Then the cage holding Nosbor and his family shimmered and faded away. The royal family was free. Nosbor laughed happily and said,
"Ha ha ha! Way to go, my boy! You did it!"
Ollie says, "Thank you, Nosbor. Mealy came to Ollie and gave him a hug. The fairies saw Mealy hug Ollie, and Olivia said, "Oh, oh, oh, this is adorable! Our princess is hugging one of our heroes." Amanda says, "I know." Lilo says, "Well, it's been a successful day." Clubshot said to the heroes, "We are forever grateful for saving our homeworld." Ollie says, "You're welcome." Luther looked at Pogwa's wristbands and called to Ollie, "What should we do with these?" Ollie says, I don't know." Dory says, "I know just the person to give them to." The cat gang decide to give Pogwa's wristbands to Elle and Dipper, 1 band each. Dipper says, "Wow, that is some cool looking thing." Elle says, "I know, I can't wait to take it home and keep it into my collection." Dipper says, "Yes, me too." Then Nosbot called to the rest of the inhabitants. "Good cats of Morriston, Pogwa and his dark forces of evil have been defeated, thanks to our heroes and the Eagle Riders from the realm of Macfall Peak. Peace has returned and once again we are saved." Everybody cheered and celebrated. The heroes smiled so happily that they had won the battle. Apart from Moe, who saw what had happened to Arabella's eagle. Oh dear. Tears welled in Arabella as she tended her wounded mount. "I'm sorry, my lad. I hope you'll be okay." She puts her paw on his beak, and the eagle appeared to smile. Then he drifted off into a deep sleep. The Eagle Riders decided to make a large net. They could then use it to carry the wounded eagle home where he could rest and heal. Moe and Arabella talk to each other. Moe says, "Are you okay?" Arabella says, but... Moe says, "What's the matter?" Arabella says, "I just hope my eagle will be okay." Moe says, "Yeah, he'll be fine. Don't worry. He will be taken home and healers will look after him. This is amazing. With the help of the eagles, we managed to save Morriston. Without you, we could not have succeeded." Arabella says, "You're welcome, Moe, and thank you for saving me from the fall when the crows attacked my eagle." She kissed him on the cheek. Moe blushed. "Oh, you're welcome." Arabella says, "So, what would you like to do now we have completed our task?" Moe says, "Well, I would like to come back to Macfall Peak with you." Arabella says, "Oh, that would be lovely." Moe says, "I'll check with Ollie, Luther and Dory and they will be okay for me to accompany you." Moe went to his siblings and asked about going to Macfall Peak with his Arabella. Moe says, "Hi guys, I've been thinking. Macfall Peak is a very nice place. I would love to return there with Arabella. We really like each other and want to be together. Is it okay with you if I go?" Ollie says, "Yeah, of course it is." Luther says, "Sure thing, brother." Dory says, "If you want to, of course, yes." Moe gave each of his siblings a hug, then Arabella came to hug them also. Elle and Dipper asked one of the Eagle Riders to drop them off back to Puddle Island. Moe called his siblings and the fairies. "Bye guys, I'll see you again soon. Take care of you all." Arabella, Moe, and the company of eagles took to the sky and take the Puddles home, and then returned to Macfall Peak. Daisy says, "Wow, these eagles are so majestic, aren't they, Dylan?" Dylan says, "Yeah, Daisy, I think they're amazing." Daisy says, "I'm so relieved Dory and her brothers saved Morriston with them." Dylan says, "Yeah, absolutely." That night, there was a firework display to celebrate a victory over a Dark Lord. Ollie, Luther, Dory, Shadow, Dylan, and Lilu were watching the display. Shadow says, "It's all so magical." Ollie says, "Yeah, it is." Shadow says, "These eagles are so amazing that they helped you keep our home safe." Ollie says, "It is, Shadow. I also don't want you getting hurt." Shadow says, Don't worry about me, Ollie Berry. I'll be fine. Ollie says, I know you will. I love you. Shadow says, I love you too. Luther says, thanks for your help with magic powers, Lilu. We couldn't have won without your help. Lilu says, no problem at all, Luth. Luther says, giving us those powers must have been a drain for you. Will you be okay? Lilu says, don't worry, honey. I'll be fine. Luther says, well, as long as you are sure, okay. Then Daisy spoke to her siblings. Daisy says, so guys, what would you like to do for the next few days? Dylan says, well, I thought we could have a wander around together and just enjoy the countryside. Dory, what do you think? Dory says, that's a great idea. Then Natasha and Ollie talked, and Natasha asked, are there any other places we could go to have an adventure? Ollie says, I've had enough adventures for now, I think. Then he said to Shadow, Shadow, I'm going to be king of Alvadar when I grow up. Will you be my queen? Shadow says, yes, I'd love that. Lilu says, oh, that would be lovely to see them as king and queen of Alvadar. But let's watch the fireworks together. Natasha says, okay, that's fine. And so the cats and fairies watched the rest of the firework display together. At the same time, Moe and Arabella were at Macfall Peak enjoying a party of their own. The Scottish Folds were playing bagpipes. Arabella says, thanks for coming to Macfall Peak again, Moe. Moe says, you're welcome, my lovely. This place is amazing, and so are you. Arabella says, thank you, handsome lad. Moe says, so what do you think of Morriston? Arabella says, it's fantastic. I would love to return and meet with your kin under happier times. Moe says, my brothers and sister? Arabella says, aye, what do you reckon? Moe says, sounds like a good plan. So Moe and Arabella danced with the rest of the Scottish Folds. King Felix and Queen Felicia watched them have a fun time this magical night, until the young cats get to go on new adventures with Moe's siblings. Elle and Dipper were back at Pirtle Island. Their realm was being rebuilt by the surviving Pirtles. They took their prizes to their houses. One was placed at Elle's living room, and the other in Dipper's study. Well, that was a great read-along. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and have a good night.